What's going on, guys? CKD was a video, and today I wanted to review an album that, I wasn't sure reviewing, but I thought, might as well, why not, whatever, why not, might as well just review it. It's kind of, been in a lot of Twitter tweets, lately. It's been, out in the public, as of recent, a lot of people have been talking about it. So I thought I would review Meek Mill's new album, DC4 Dreamchasers 4. Now, let me just kind of go into this review with a little bit of a forewarning, I guess, if you will, which kind of doesn't really even, play into the review, but just kind of things that, just about my personal preferences about listening to music. Now, with my thing, right, I don't really like to listen to any, trap music or anything, like that, and not really much that hype music. I really like to listen to that by myself, right? I usually, by myself, listen to R&B, Eastern rap, like, stuff from East Coast, more West Coast rap, but not really, trap, you know what I'm saying? Not really that, like, what you're gonna play, at the party, like, I don't play a Fetty Wap album. I don't play, Young Thug, you know what I'm saying? Like, those type of artists by myself, Future as well, like, those artists, I don't really play those type of music by myself, just because it doesn't really make sense, because most times I'm listening to music by myself, I'm in the car driving to work, or I'm walking, to school, and, like, I don't want to hear, it just doesn't fit the mood, you know what I'm saying? I listen to music that fits the mood I'm currently in, that fits the environment I'm currently in, right? So if I'm, alone in my car, I'm not gonna, be trapping out like, I'm at the club. I'm gonna be listening, to some J. Cole, to some Drake, but not, obviously not any of the hardcore stuff, but, they're more, low-key, kind of toned down, just regular rap music, you know what I'm saying? And, artists like The Weeknd, R&B, as some things, is also what I listen to, in private. But for this review, I had to, listen to this stuff, in the car by myself, right? And so initially, I thought that was going to have some issues with me, where, like, I just wouldn't, feel it, I wouldn't be into it, just because I'm not, in a wild environment. But it actually took me by surprise. I actually really did enjoy my time listening to this album. Now this album is 14 tracks, right? So it's a pretty medium-sized album. Nothing aggrandized like 20 tracks, but it's around in that nice sweet spot. It's just a little bit too small and not too big, for it to be too much to consume at one time. It's a very nice balanced album, I'd say. And one thing I will say, right, is that throughout the album I never really got bored listening to it, which is a positive thing to say in my opinion. I felt like I was constantly looking for things that I liked and things that I didn't really feel, but for the most part it was always a sense of discovery whenever I kept listening to the album, over the course of this week. Right, and I listened to it, I want to say maybe 5-6 times play through the whole thing. I want to say maybe around that range. I had a lot of time on this album. I had a lot of time on this album, so I feel like I can speak on this. But one thing that is a very, very big highlight about this album is the features. The features are incredible. We got Tory Lanez, Young Thug, Nicki Minaj, Quavo, like all these people, they did so good in the features. I did not see one feature that was bad. Like honestly, I did not find one feature that was bad. And honestly, on the tracks that he had other people with him, it honestly was a constant battle between like, was Meek better or was the feature better? Because the features, they come in and they were all good. They did a great job. Reps up to the features on this album, they did insane. But this album, I feel, is very much high energy. It's very much something that you're not going to play by yourself, and probably something that I won't listen to by myself, from this point on. I'm probably going to listen to it, with my friends in the car, or when I'm at a public event, when I'm at a party, etc. I, just don't see myself listening to this album a lot, when I'm in the car just by myself, because that's just not really, the environment where I'm going to listen to this album. However, with that being said, I will say that this album, I feel, is very, very consistent. This album is kind of like a jack of all trades, where it's not, the best at anything really, but it's good at, a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a really, streamlined, really good, consistent album, I'd say, in my opinion. And also to, speak to its, consistency throughout the album, I will say that there is never really a point in the album where, there's a dip, right? We've seen a ton of albums here on the channel where, we listen to the album and then there's just a dip in the album, and it just happens a lot, who knows why. But, with this album, I really feel like, there really wasn't any dip. I would say there was waves, right? There was definitely some waves where, there's some songs that, were just lacking better than others, etc., the vice versa. But for the most part, I will feel like this whole album is pretty good, I'd say. It's a really good album, I would say, and there really never is, a cliff where the album just goes to the tank, goes down the toilet. There never is a point where this album loses momentum as well. This album is very high energy, high pace, and it got me bumping in the car. Like, it's a very interesting album to listen to, and it's a very fun album to listen to as well. Now, I do have a personal favorite on this album that is something that honestly I would play by myself, because it's more of a style that I would, not mind blasting by myself, and that is Blue Notes. Blue Notes on this album is, oh my god, that guitar riff and that beat and Meek Mill just spitting and oh my god, that was by far the best track on this entire album, by far, by miles, really. I love that track. I love Blue Notes. From the first time I heard the guitar riff, I fell in love with the whole track, and I was listening to this actually, driving in Phoenix, in the downtown area, and just feeling the city and feeling that track. It was just an amazing experience. I definitely like that track for sure. Blue Notes is definitely, up there on the upper echelon of the songs that are on the album. So yeah, overall, this is a very good album. I would recommend it. This is definitely, one of the better albums of the year, I would say, in my opinion. It really is kind of, a surprise, for real, because I didn't really, expect Meek Mill to come out with an album this good, in my opinion. I just, didn't feel like he got it in him. Kind of career, I felt like kind of overall, just from the media, really, from Twitter, his career is kind of dead. But it's clearly, from this tape, it's clearly not dead. And he is still spitting fire. He's still doing good stuff in the music industry. And I appreciate it no matter what, man. I appreciate it, man. Aside from the Drake stuff, aside that, I really appreciate the good music. So hey, man, that's just what it is. So definitely, I definitely do recommend this album. If you guys gonna, if you guys think about checking it out, I really do recommend it. In my opinion, pretty good, not bad, good stuff, Big Mo, good stuff. And that is my time for this review of Dreamchasers 4. If you guys enjoy, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff down below. I appreciate all the feedback you guys give me. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.